here with Janet Hunter.
Hello.
Sarah Hunter's mum. Highest score capped England player, women's player? Not quite.
No. Rocky Clark is the highest capped. Sarah's the third capped, highest capped.
Third highest capped.
103 today.
Brilliant. So out of Sarah's mum and dad, Colin, your husband, who does she take after organisationally? Is she like you or is she like Colin?
I think she's probably more like him.
More like Colin. He's the organised one. Or not like that. Sense of humour, who's she more like you?
Much more like me,
Much more like you, sense of humour.
Dad has no sense of humour.
How she handles conflict? Is she a bit like more like you?
Much more like me.
Much more like you.
She's good.
I won't let Colin see that. So last weekend Sarah played in England-Italy. She scored a hat-trick. She was player of the match. And you told me she was really disappointed in herself.
Absolutely, devastated.
As a mum, how do you handle that conversation? Because you've seen her in the stands, you thought she was great.
You just have to accept that that's the way she feels and give her a big hug.
Brilliant.
And say, we think you did really well. And everybody makes mistakes in games, which they do. But for her, and I think for an awful lot of these top-class athletes, just making that one mistake isn't good enough. They don't want to make any at all. So that's the thing that's uppermost in their mind. The fact she's got a hat-trick was just, by the way, didn't matter.
And has she always had that kind of drive?
Yes, and I think you probably need it. She has it in other things as well, so it's not just sport.
Yeah.
But I think if you're going to be a top-class athlete, you've got to say, oh, gosh, I got a hat-trick, I did really well.
Yeah.
I made these 2 or 3 little mistakes, and I've got to improve and eliminate those. And that's why they get to where they are.
Brilliant. If we could have a time machine and you could go back and visit Janet Hunter when Sarah was 12 and just starting rugby, and did she start at 12? I think she started a bit younger than that.
A bit younger, but yes.
Rugby league. What parental advice would you give to that Janet Hunter from what you know now?
I think I'd say do what we did. Sarah's got to where she is, and I think some of the things that she has said to us in cards and emails, she's valued the support that we gave her.
Brilliant.
I don't think that I changed very much.
Brilliant.
That might sound a bit big-headed.
No, it doesn't sound big-headed at all. No, it's good.
If you get plaudits from your daughter saying, Mum and Dad couldn't have done this without you, and so it's about supporting her, it's about we're not critical.
You're not critical?
No.
That's really important.
For me, I think that's really important. If she asks for advice, then we would give it, but we don't go in and say, and I've heard parents say, you should have done better, you lost that game because. That would be completely and utterly wrong.
Brilliant.
You look for the positives and praise those, and that's what we've done.
As a mum, what have been your hardest moments having a child in elite sport?
For a mum, she doesn't have a life apart from sport, and I think that's quite sad.
Yeah.
You know, for her 20s and early 30s, or teenage years and early 30s, to get to where she's been, sport and academic work have been paramount. So she hasn't had much of a life that most young people have had. And that's, for me, sad because absolutely her choice. When I talked to her about it, she said, that's what I want to do, my choice, I do it because I love it. And I wouldn't have to do anything different.
Yeah, I watched when the England women hockey won the gold medal. They were being interviewed on telly, and they said all the sacrifices you've given up, and they said actually we haven't sacrificed anything. We've made choices for what we wanted.
Exactly.
But as a parent, that's hard on the sideline, isn't it?
It is, because you're thinking, I was doing this, I was doing that, but there's other choices. And for her, I was devastated when they didn't win the World Cup.
Yeah.
Because they had a fabulous tournament, they had a fabulous year winning Grand Slam, but none of it was good enough, and I know how devastated she was at the end of that, and trying to reassure her that she was still a brilliant player, there was still a brilliant team, didn't mean anything, and I said, you will read afterwards all the things people have written about you on the team, and they will mean something, and all the congratulations that you are getting now, in the years to come will mean something, they might not now. But her life seemed to have ended because that's what they've been going for.
Yeah.
And
How did you support her in that? Because, like you say, that was the pinnacle. They were half an hour from it.
Yeah, and it fell apart. All you can do is be there, and however you support your child. And for me, it was difficult because they were separated from us. We weren't even together.
Yeah.
So it's phone calls, emails, just touching base, letting people know that letting her know that you're there. And when you see her, giving her a big, big hug, like I did today.
Brilliant.
Just put your arms around her and say, you did fantastically well. You and the team.
Fantastic. When kind of Sarah was 18, leaving school, starting university, that kind of real transition from being a child who you had responsibility for to being a child who you were mum to. How was that transition, and what advice would you give to other elites? Because I'm guessing at that point Sarah was having to make choices around career, around sport.
It's a hard one because I remember she did maths and sports science at Loughborough. She wanted to do sports science, and I said, I think you should do something more serious with it. So she was doing maths and sciences for her A-level, so she chose maths. And I think she gave me a hard time because you did twice as much work doing a joint honours degree as you were doing a single honours degree, and I hadn't realised that. But I remember at the end of, and I don't know which year it was, but she had an exam on the same day that she should have been leaving to go to England camp for an international. And she said to me, I don't know what to do. And I said, you must do your exam. You must talk to England and explain, because your exam's important. And she said, but at this stage she was fairly new to the England setup. She said, it's going to be really difficult. How can I, they might not want me anymore if I said, they will understand. So she did her exam and she raced off then to the England camp. Because of course England did understand.
Yeah, they are human beings as well, aren't they?
And they recognise that your academic life is important. But I don't think she did particularly well in her exams. I think she'd have got a much better degree if sport hadn't been her paramount choice. I think, she was totally committed to her rugby all through her university degree, playing for the university and for England.
And was that a bit of a tension then in you?
No, not at all.
No, you were cool with it.
Absolutely. She got a degree.
Yeah.
So that's fine. She graduated, and I think she probably would have graduated with a better class degree. But at the end of the day, she's got a degree. She's doing what she wants. She's now forged a career doing something she loves, because she's now working for the university coaching rugby. So that's fine by us. And actually, you have to let go and say it's not my life; it's their lives.
Brilliant. Yeah. Now, I spoke to you about Christmas in the Hunter household, and how do you keep it normal? I mean, is it rugby talk all the time,
No,
or do you?
Not rugby at all.
Not rugby at all.
We've over the years we've developed traditions as all families do, and we keep to those traditions. And we have a big family meal with there were about 14 of us with small children. We had 2 tiny ones and a 4-year-old, and the rest of us, and it was just brilliant.
Brilliant.
And rugby isn't talked about.
Brilliant.
And if it is, it's her brother teasing her.
I like that.
And they quite often have a bit of rough and tumble, because James will say, you can pick me up, Sarah. She says, of course I can pick you. So they have banter.
So he's helped keep her feet on the ground by that brotherly banter and immense pride at the same time.
He comes to watch her. He would have been here today, but he and his partner were at the wedding. Otherwise, they would be here.
And from the point of view of having a sibling who hasn't also played elite rugby, how have you kept that balance?
Just by treating them both as individuals,
Yeah.
I think.